Today's presentation, I will be exploring pollution from steel plants in Cleveland, Ohio. My name is Sam Pesey. I'm a sophomore finance major, and I am from Cleveland. So today I'll be examining how steel production in Cleveland creates pollution and how concepts from Bio 121 help explain its environmental and health impacts. We'll look at air and water pollution, ecological effects, and sustainability solutions. Pictured above is the Cleveland Cliffs and Cleveland Works, which is one of the largest single emitters of CO2 in the region, and I'll be talking to them about them a lot. Cleveland has been a steel hub for over a century, and the industry dated back to the mid-1800s. The Cuyahoga River and Lake Erie made it an ideal situation to transport the steel outside of the city. Most plants are located near and along the Cuyahoga River and Lake Erie. Their processes, smelting, rolling, finishing, produce various amounts of pollution that affect the nearby ecosystems like the lake, the rivers, and different communities. Key pollutants include PM 2.5 and PM 10 from combustion, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, VOCs, and heavy metals, which are such as chromium and magnesium, lead, chromium, and magnesium. These enter both air and water systems and have long-term effects. And Cleveland Works is among one of the highest monitored facilities for chromium in the United States. Here are a few relevant Bio 121 terms. So point source pollution comes directly from smokestacks, while non-point source pollution includes stuff like runoff. Bioaccumulation means that there is a buildup in organisms, while biomagnification increases toxic levels at higher trophic levels in the food chain. Right here, I'll be talking about the air quality impacts. Steel plants contribute to smog, and pictured here in the picture is Cleveland and a time where there was a lot of smog. It also contributes to acid rain and respiratory illnesses. Then, the particle matters that are coming from these steel plants, these especially irritate your lungs. Another thing is NOx and VOCs, which come from the steel plants. They form ground level ozone layer. And lastly, the sulfur dioxide leads to acid deposition affecting ecosystems and buildings surrounding. And right here is a maximum PM 2.5 air quality index from May to June 2023, showing areas that are good and then different areas that are unhealthy. Right here you can see in Cleveland, if you look right here, on the upper northeast side of Ohio, it shows purple, which is showing that it's very unhealthy. Water pollution pathways. So runoff carries metals and oils into the Cuyahoga River, and the Cuyahoga River infamously caught on fire in 1969 due to heavy industrial waste and flammable pollutants. These thermal pollutants come from this hot discharge water, increases water temperature, and it also lowers dissolved oxygen. And this discharge leads to problems in the connected waters of the steel mills. Different ecological impact. Fish exposed to heavy metals experience reproductive issues, mutation, and reduces the survival significantly. Amphibians suffer from polluted waters, and biodiversity declines as sensitive species die off, leaving only pollution-tolerant species. Heavy metal exposure has linked to neurological problems within these different species, and this is a big problem in Cleveland on the shores of Lake Erie. PM 2.5 increases respiratory disease and cardiac risk. Heavy metals harm neurological development, especially in children. Communities close to plants often experience environmental injustice due to the higher exposure levels. And here's a little chart to kind of show all the different what the different pollutions do to the body. Sustainability solutions. So they're always trying to find different ways to try not to harm the environment. So having smokestack scrubbers, electrostatic precipitators, and wastewater treatments, these help reduce the emissions getting into the environment. Electric arc furnaces cut pollution by using recycled steel, and green buffers reduce the runoff. Community monitoring strengthens the accountability of these different steel plant makers, and the laws have been formed trying to make sure that these plants are being as sustainable as possible. So Cleveland steel plants shape the city's identity, but they do pose some very important environmental challenges. Using my Bio 121 concepts, I was able to understand pollutant pathways and the impacts that it has on not only the people in the city, but also the environment and different aquatic and animals around. The sustainable strategies can protect both the ecosystems and human health. Thank you, and I'm done.